Hello, my most amazing artists. Today you're going to be getting back your paint printed CD flowers. Last week we used CDs to paint and create a print or a copy of and make into the shape of flowers. Hopefully you wrote your name and class code on the back. If not, you're going to need to do that first thing today so that we don't lose your paper and so that you get the grade for it. Now, when we were printing without those CDs, you were not allowed to touch your paintbrush to your paper. That means you gave up a little bit of the control of what you were able to draw. Today, you're going to have those special construction paper crayons. You'll be able to outline your details and kind of bring back anything that you didn't get a chance to add last week or weren't happy with. In this case, I'm using the bright green, the ones with the construction paper crayon wrapper, which are the black wrappers, and I'm using them to outline some details. That means if I couldn't really quite see the petals that I drew in on my CD with the paint, I could outline them. But notice, I'm not coloring anything in. I still want to see a little bit of that black paper behind. I'm just making some outlines to add detail to my flowers. I'm also using a bright green construction paper crayon to outline all of the leaves. If you didn't have time to add any leaves last week, today would be a great time to do that. You can make all different kinds of flowers within your CD shape. It all is circular, and you could go ahead and add all different kinds of circles, or you could add petals like I am doing right now. Just make sure you're using the same color schemes or similar colors so that it doesn't really stand out from what you did before. You want it to still look like it was a print and still be able to see your awesome print from last week, just outlining a little bit of that extra detail just in case you might have missed a spot with your CD print. Also, you can have a chance to add those leaves or any polka dots, anything you didn't get to add last week, you get a chance to today. I know we ran out of time. I'm making sure that I did my absolute best work outlining any details or adding details that I might not have had time for last week. So today's the day to add any leaves, any little flower spots or centers or petals to your flowers. Because when you're done, we're going to be taking a photo of our artwork. This is so that everybody at home, say your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, whoever at home, can see what you're doing in art class and the awesome art that you're creating. To do that, we're going to learn how to use an app on the iPads. This app is called Artsonia. When we use the iPad, we slide it over and then hit this app right here. It's a very colorful app called Artsonia. It will be on the home screen. When you get to the Artsonia app, it's going to ask you if you're a teacher or a student or a parent. You're going to want to click the student button in the middle. That's the orange one. After you click the student button, it's going to ask you to either scan a QR code or enter a code. I'm going to put your code up on the board that you can copy into this part right here. When you enter that code, you need to make sure that you're doing the same letters, capitals, and everything, even the dash and the numbers in between. Make sure you copy that code exactly how it is on the board to get to the right school. If you do enter the code correctly, it's going to ask you if you are a student at this elementary school. You hit yes with the green check. After you hit the green check, it's going to ask you to type in your first name. I'm going to hit that button and start putting in my first name, typing the letters of my name. If you have been a student in art class before at this school, then you should pop up right when you begin typing the letters of your name. If there's more than one student at the school with the same name as you, please make sure you're paying attention to the first letter of your last name as well as the grade that you're in. It should have your correct grade and letter of your last name next to it on the right. So if my name's Amaya, I'm making sure I pick the right one in the right grade, says grade 2, and I'm going to pretend that this is me because I am not in the system because I'm a teacher and this is only for students. Then I'm going to hit CD printed flowers because that's what I'm taking a picture of. That should be the project that pops up. Then I'm going to hit take photo. So when I hit next, that top right button, it's going to lead me right into taking a picture and going to the camera app. When I take a picture of my artwork, I always want to make sure that the desk or area around me is cleared off, meaning that nothing else is in the way, such as my sketchbook or pencils or paper or paint or anything messy. I want to make sure that I have a nice clear space with only my artwork in front of me. And I'm taking a photo of my artwork. I'm making sure that I'm holding the iPad directly over top of the art and flat. That way I can see it all from bottom to top. If you can't fit your artwork in that screen, you need to make sure that you're standing up and get above it. Then you can hit the camera button. If it didn't really work out too well and you need to take another picture, you can hit that top left button to retake the photo. By tapping on the screen, it will make sure that the camera focuses on your artwork, meaning that it takes a better photo by focusing or making sure it's not blurry. Then you can try taking that photo again. Then it's going to ask you to move corners to your artwork. What that means is it's going to take out anything else in the photo that we don't need, like the table. We just want your art in this picture. So I'm going to drag all of those points to the edge of my artwork. Now this tool allows you to create different shapes. So say if you had a piece of art that wasn't a rectangle or square like this one is, you would be able to drag and drop all of those corners to cut your artwork or crop it out so the table or whatever else around it isn't there anymore. But I'm going to hit that second button. That's going to give me an automatic square or rectangle that's very easy to drag and drop from one end to the other. Once you see your artwork in that square or rectangle, then you're good to go. Just make sure you're not cutting off any of the important parts of it. You want to be able to see just your artwork in that box. Then I'm going to use the next button, which is the rotate tool. That's the arrow. I want to pick which way I want my artwork to be seen. Do I want it to be seen vertically up and down or horizontally side to side? Once you decide and you rotate your artwork, you can hit the next button in the top right corner. Then it's going to ask you to edit your artwork. This allows you to make it brighter, darker, more colorful, less colorful, but we are only going to use the bottom left corner button, which looks like a magic wand. That magic wand tool magically edits the photo for you. That means that it already did the work for you and you don't have to use any of the other buttons. Then you can hit the next button. That's going to lead you to put an artwork title in. But if you don't want to write anything about your artwork, you can just hit the submit button. If you do want to write something about your artwork for your family to see, you can go ahead and add a title to it. That's like the name of a movie or a painting or a book, whatever it is, it has a title. If you want to come up with a name for your painting and know how to spell it, you can type it in that spot there. You could also write about your artwork if you really wanted to, but we don't have to, and we also want to keep this quick moving since we are sharing the iPads. As long as you have that photo uploaded and your parent has signed a permission form that was sent home, they will be able to see your awesome artwork instantly after you click upload. It's awesome because every time you're finished with a piece of art and take a photo of it in art class and upload it to this app called Artsonia, then they will be able to see all of the awesome artwork that you are creating. That way you don't have to wait until the very last week of school to take it home or after our art show. You will be able to see it right away. They will also have the chance to order your art on different cool things like t-shirts or mugs, whatever it is that they could show your art off to everybody. It is totally optional though, and it is something that they would have to pay for, so they don't have to do that. But it is free for them to get this app and see your art at home. When you're done and hit submit, please click log out in the top left corner and hand the iPad to the next person. You don't have to exit out of the screen because it's going to ask them to type in their name. You want that to be up for them and ready to go. But this is what it looks like when you first access the app. Again, you would hit the student button, enter the code, and start looking for your name. If you're done and have already successfully uploaded your artwork, then you're going to put it in your table folder. So when you're done and have taken a photo of it, you're going to put it in your table folder and close it safely. Then you can get out your sketchbook for a chance to draw in your sketchbook when you're finished. If you've already finished your flowers but are waiting to use the app to take a photo and upload it to your Artsonia account, you can be drawing in your sketchbook while you patiently wait for the iPad to come to you. We do have to take turns since we only have one iPad for each table team. So please make sure you're being patient, and as you're waiting, you could just free draw in your sketchbook, knowing that when it's your turn, you'll take your photo and then be done and put your artwork away. If you don't have any idea of what to draw in your sketchbook, know that you are always welcome to use the sketchbook idea sticks, which are in a bucket at the makerspace counter. You are welcome to take one out and draw one of those silly ideas like that one had said draw Miss Q as a robot. It's totally up to you. You can always create your own drawings. You do not have to use the idea sticks, but if you do, make sure you return them when you're done. Let's review what we're doing today. So number one, you want to take out your flower painting from that CD print from last week and add details to your flowers using the crayons. I highly recommend using the construction paper crayons, the ones with the black wrapper, to really show up nice and bright on your black construction paper. Step number two, when you're finished, you're going to share the iPad at your table to go to the Artsonia app, following all steps on the board, to go ahead and log in for the first time and photograph your artwork. Once you have successfully uploaded your artwork and on the app and you're done and pass it to another person, then you can work in your sketchbook. Again, if you're already finished with step number 1, that's great. You don't even have to tell me. Just go ahead, and if you're waiting for the iPad because somebody else at your table is using it to photograph and upload to Artsonia, that you're patient and just go ahead and skip to number 3, which is work in your sketchbook while you wait to go ahead and use the app on the iPad. We are not fighting over the iPad today, or you will not be going ahead and using that app at all today. So please make sure you're waiting patiently for everybody at the table to get their turn. We'll start with the iPad manager who gets the iPad and brings it to their table. They can start by uploading their work and learning how to do it so that they can help others at their table do it next as everybody finishes their artwork. So once you're done, remember you're going to photograph it, you're going to work in your sketchbook, and then when the alarm goes off and it's time to clean up, we're going to put everything, both our sketchbook and our CD printed flowers, into our table folders when it's time to go. All right, awesome artists, can't wait to see what you create and to share your awesome artwork with everybody at home.